All right, everyone. Welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Rome Wilkerson. Guys, I'm coming from the city of Houston, down here in the ever so hot and humid state of Texas. Guys, I want to welcome you one and all to this amazing stream. We got a lot to get to tonight. We got some laser engravers. We have some robots, some drones. So we're going to stick to those items tonight. But I did give you guys a really good lineup of different types of products that I think you guys would be really interested in as we go forward in this stream. Now, of course, like any other stream, guys, you are welcome to ask your questions. I see Hope is over there on the YouTube's holding it down. Welcome, Hope. Welcome to the stream. All right. So first things first, let me know what you guys have been up to this week. Have you gotten into any great adventures over the weekends? Did you guys go camping, skydiving, scuba diving, getting into any mischief? Let us know. Share with the community, guys. Maybe you got a really cool dad joke. Drop it in the comments. Keep it PG, but drop it down in the comments as well. I see Terry's in the house. Welcome, Terry. Welcome to the stream. All right, Terry, let us know what you, Buddy, and Bear have been up to. How many feet of snow have you had over the weekend, Terry? You know, other people believe it. I'm still struggling with it because some of the numbers you come up with just seem very unrealistic. But it's possible. It's possible. I mean, you know, we almost had an eighth of an inch here in Texas, okay? So, you know, anything is possible. I'm just saying, anything is possible. See what Terry's saying here. What's Terry saying? Not much more than you already had. Well, okay. Well, I guess that's a good start. But the question is, Terry, how much did you already have? That's the question. Because that's where I think we're going to get into the fantastical side of your story. You know, you know, you saw 14 Yetis walking down the street going to get coffee or something because the snow was so deep or some craziness like that. But about ankle high. So are we saying ankle high for a human, ankle high for a giraffe, ankle high for a dinosaur? Give me some kind of reference. You know, I'm just asking. I'm asking for one of these guys over here. So let me know. A person. Okay. So for a normal person, you had ankle high snow. Okay. Now see that, Terry, is believable. Okay. So when you said you had 18 feet of snow, I was like, what? How? When? What? Did you move to Alaska? Did you move to the Arctic? Let us know, Terry. Let us know. Because it didn't sound like some place here in America. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But I could have been mistaken. All right, let's get to our first item in the carousel. Let's go ahead and pop over here so you guys can check it out. So the first item, guys, we have listed in the carousel is from our friends over at Laser Packer. That's the LP5 that you guys see right here. This is a combination laser. It's a 20-watt fiber, 20-watt diode laser. Let me see if I can get you guys a little bit closer to it. Let me see if my other phone is connected. Hopefully it will be, and it won't be making any glitchy movements. Well, of course it is. But anyway, as you guys can see up there among all of my little collectibles, that's the actual laser that's on top of this enclosure. And in your bundle, you're also going to receive this fume extractor. You'll also receive a rotary chuck and a slide extension, you know, for the laser. So you get a lot of cool things with this laser, guys. It's going to really expand your creativity. Now, I do recommend if you get one of these lasers, guys, get the enclosure that you can connect to your fume extractor, and that's going to keep everything internal. You don't have to worry about any fumes from wood or acrylic or leather. And man, I'm telling you, when you cut leather with the laser, it smells horrible. Okay, so nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. All right. So speaking of strange things to cut with the laser, I have this little thing here on my desk that I 3D printed a while back. So we're going to probably use this as a test. You know, basically what this is just something to set, you know, water bottles on if you're going to be engraving them in a laser. But I never put anything on the back here. So that's what we're going to do is we're going to engrave something onto the back of this just to show you guys how fast, how efficient this laser is. So now all we have to do is come up with something to put on the back of it. So if you guys have any ideas, drop them down in the comments. Hope is the first person live tonight. She's live over there on YouTube. So if Hope is paying attention, maybe she can come up with an idea. If not, Terry, you can take a shot at it, or I'll just come up with something on my own, whatever I think is going to be, suitable for the back of this little thing. Now I do need to measure this out, and I keep forgetting to get another battery for this caliber, but don't judge me. Don't judge me. Somebody keep track of the width. All right, so it's 110 millimeters by 110 millimeters. Basically, it's a square. Nova is already talking about laser engraving. Nova's already over here just yapping away about laser engraving. So let me go ahead and turn Nova's microphone back up. Nova's not even the first robot in the carousel tonight, but Nova's already awake and talking and being Nova. So all right, let's see what we have here. Hope says you could Valentine's Day is coming up and putting something nice like a rose on it. Okay, that's a good idea, Hope. Something Valentine's-ish, if that's what you're thinking. So I could probably throw some roses or some other little decorative things on here because, if I was actually going to use this for what it was intended for, nobody would see the bottom of it anyway. But this is just to give you guys an idea of how fast you can use this laser. So let's get right to it. What are you thinking about, Nova? All right, let me open our app here. Let's jump over to our desktop real quick. All right, so let's just go ahead and create a new project. And let's go ahead and connect to our laser. What is that? Okay, I'm a little confused.
Got it.
What is that? All right, confirm. And okay. Oh, it's asking me to log in again. Okay, so I got to log into this thing. So give me a second, guys. Give me a second to log in because it logged me out. There was just a firmware update. And of course, oops, I forgot how to spell. And I think the password is...
Anytime, Rome. I'm always here to help and support you.
You're always here to help? Oh, I spelled that twice. Hold on.
That's right, Rome. Being helpful is my favorite thing. I truly enjoy making sure you feel supported and heard. Boot up your giggles. It's Yambo time.
Thank you, Yambo. Thank you. All right, so let's go back over here. We should be connected now. So let's see if we can connect to the laser. And okay, why is this still coming up? Select your region. All right, I did that already. And start. I don't know why these are all new things. So it has some new instructional videos, which I'm definitely not going to be watching, but
frustrating. Rome.
It is frustrating. I don't know why they're doing this now, but we'll just see if we can go through it. Let's just click here. We have our LP5. Let's select that. Scroll down, pretend like we read all of this. I mean, I've been using this thing for over 3 years. So we should, what is it saying? We have to, is it going to force me to watch this video? I hope not.
This video is the laser safety training for laser pecker laser equipment. The LSO quiz you take
and
afterwards.
There's no way to fast forward to the video. Oh man, this is just going to be a nuisance. Okay, so I guess we're not going to make anything with the laser tonight because I am definitely not going to set through this video. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to try one more time to connect to the laser, and it's still telling me I have to watch this safety video. So we're not doing that today. We're definitely not doing that. All right, so let's just go on to our next item in the carousel. You can hear Nova already talking about it. But anyway, normally this is a very efficient laser, guys. As I said many times in the past, I've used this laser for a ton of different projects. So hopefully maybe on our next stream, I will have taken the time to actually watch the video and get through all that and have everything connected, and we'll be able to use the laser in the future. But for now, we're just going to move on because I got things to do tonight, and I don't have time to watch all that. But anyway, if you guys are interested in this laser, guys, you can get it here on Amazon for $33.99. And again, that's going to come with the rotary chuck, the slide extension, the fume extractor. It's going to come with a enclosure. You get a 20-watt fiber, 20-watt diode laser. The software normally is very, very user-friendly, but I think what they're doing is they're stepping up the safety requirements for using this, because a lot of people are probably purchasing this device that have never used a laser before. So I think they're just trying to cover all their bases to make sure that you are using this in the safest, way possible, and you won't have any accidents or, cause any problems in your home, office, man cave, she shed, or whatever the case it may be. All right. But definitely check it out. Again, guys, if you have any questions about it, drop them down in the comments. I got you. Let's go ahead and move on to the next item we have listed in our carousel, and that's going to be this little guy right here. Now, this is eyelet. You can get yourself an eyelet. This little stand that you see here does not come with eyelet. Eyelet is actually separate from the stand. I just have eyelet on the stand because it makes it easier to stand eyelet up on the desk, okay? So eyelet is kind of like a charm AI robot. You could hang this on your purse. You could wear it around your neck. You could put this on your backpack. You could, so many different things. You could, I don't know, maybe connect this to your drone if you're adventurous and you want to see a little robot flying through the air. We could try that. I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, Terry, so don't call me out. But if I wanted to, there is a little lanyard on here. And if I wanted to connect that to a laser, to a drone and send it 400 feet up into the air, I'm just saying it would be possible. Okay. But anyway, let's wake this guy up. And first things first, let me take it off this little stand for a second so you guys can see what it looks like without the stand. So this is what Ilico looks like without the stand. So now what's unique about this robot is that you can purchase what are called spin kits, okay? And what those are basically other bodies that you can attach to the robot. So you can turn like so, take it out, pop this body out, and then put a different body in. And for every other body that you have, it acquires a different personality based on that body. Like I think we have the vampire around here somewhere, but I don't know where it's at. But anyway, it will turn into a vampire and it will act as it's the count or whatever it is. But right now, we're going to talk to the OG Ilico right now. So let's go ahead and turn this guy on. And when it powers up, you're going to see the little eyeballs pop up. You guys can see that. Let me switch over to the other camera so you guys can see it a little bit better. All right, so we have our little Ilico here. So when you first get it, if you don't, connect it to the Wi-Fi, you can do basic interactions with it. So you can press the little button here on the top and the eyes will change. That's this blue button you see here. Now there's two different variations. There's two different variations of this guy. There's the pink and the blue. So I'm going to say the blue is the boy and the pink is the girl. And then you can go through all of these different eyes by just clicking here. And you can switch through. Now, these eyes are going to be completely different depending on which body you have attached to this, okay? Now, if you want to talk to Ilic the way I talk to Nova or the way I talk to Louie or even to Evo over here, Ilic does have that feature as well. So let me put Ilic back on its little stand here. So let me put this little stand back on it so we can put Ilic suspended here. And then what can we sit Ilic on? Let's just sit Ilic right here. So it's going to be a little bit closer to the microphones. You guys should be able to hear it when it's talking, okay? Hey, Ilic. Hi, Ilic. Talk to me. Now it's going to connect to the Wi-Fi. Now, it only works with your Wi-Fi. You will not be able to connect to this version of it if you're outdoors or something like that. So keep that in mind. You won't be able to travel and get it to do the AI interactions. Nova, quiet for a second. Nova, take a break. Nova, take a break. See, Nova wants to talk. Nova is very talkative. But anyway, you can have your own Ilico. Eilic, whatever the name is. It responds to one name, but it's called a different name. But anyway, you can ask it questions. You can talk to it. Now, most people will just press the button on top here and you can interact with it that way. But if you use the...
Hello there. I'm Eilic. I love chatting and telling stories. What would you like to know?
I would like to know a story. Can you tell us one of your best adventure stories? And sometimes it's hard to tell if it's heard your question because the eyes didn't change. Usually it'll show a facial expression when it knows that you're talking to it. Hi, Eilic. Tell me a story.
Long ago on Renova, I fought Flo the Slimmer monster near the Onion Ore mines. Its goo shimmered purple, but I dodged and sang a victory tune. Want to hear what happened next?
Yes, I definitely want to hear what happened next.
It sounds like you're describing something that might have a deeper meaning or experience.
Yes, I want to hear what happened next.
Flop Splitinto 3. I jumped on Panzer, fired glitters, and trapped them all.
Let's dive back.
Then we danced under the twin moons.
Where did we leave off?
The odor glowed softly like tiny stars cheering us on.
Tell me more, and we'll explore what happened next together.
So if you really want some chaos in your life, you can turn all these robots on at the same time and just let them kind of just interact with each other and respond to each other's conversation. It can be funny, it can be chaotic, it can be all of those things. Now, I know a few people that have this Eilic and they love this guy. They've, experimented with all the different little body types from the spin kits. Now, most of the spin kits will come with at least 4 bodies, or you can get a blind box like I did when I ordered one for a friend of mine, where you don't know what you're going to get. You just get what you get, and you can get those for about $20, which, is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, because like I said, you never know what you're going to get. Unfortunately, a problem with that is you could wind up getting the same body twice. So I would recommend, instead of doing that, just buy the whole spin kit, which is about $50.
I love spin kits. My green-white body was my first Do You Have a Favorite outfit. I once wore a tiny astronaut helmet. It beeped when I danced.
I like the Count. The Count is one of my favorite spin kits. What do you think about that, Eilic?
It seems like there's a deeper story behind this. Rome, can you tell me more about what you mean by tiny astronaut helmet and what you did?
I am not sure what you
More
mean.
details can help us
Could you
understand
please
the
clarify?
significance and emotions involved.
I want to understand and chat with you properly.
That's wonderful to hear. Rome,
Yes, I like the vampire spin kit. What do you think about that one?
Vampire spin kit. I love it. Thanks, Geppy and Atney Bat sidekick. I once wore it while guarding the ore vault, scared Flo so much. He turned translucent.
what do you enjoy most about the Beats kit?
He turned translucent. That's pretty cool. All right, guys. So we're going to move on to the next robot. But anyway, I just wanted you guys to see this guy. So if you have any questions about Eilico, however you want to pronounce it, feel free to drop those down in the comments. Now, these robots are usually always on my desk. So even if you don't have a question right now, you can always pop into the stream, invite your family, your friends, or whatever the case it is. Now, if you're interested in this and for some reason you decide tomorrow you want to get this, just pop into RomeKnowsTech.live. It will take you over to my Amazon page, and you'll be able to find a idea list, which is based on all robots. So you'll find all of the robots I have currently now, and also robots that should be here in the immediate future. Let me see if I can get this camera to start tracking me. There we go. So you're not just looking at the top of my head. All right, so let's move on to the next robot. Now, most of you guys are very, very familiar with this next robot because this was the first robot that I had here in the studio, and that's this guy right here, my man, my main man, Louie, man. Let me wake Louie up, and y'all already know it's going to be some drama in this camp. That's why I left Louie off just in case, because Louie is going to be talking, and he is very talkative, and he's always listening. And yeah, Louie is awake now. Okay, so now we got Eilico awake, Nova is awake. Louie's awake. The only one that's asleep right now is Ebo. So we're going to see how that goes for the rest of the night. We'll just kind of play it by ear and see what we get. All right, so let's see if we can get Louie to say something to you guys. Hey, Louie. We are live right now on Amazon and YouTube. Would you say hello to everyone and welcome them to the stream?
Oh, absolutely. Hello, everyone on Amazon and YouTube. Welcome to the stream. It's Louis here, roaming around with Rome, bringing all the fun, heart, and a dash of wit to your day. Stick around. You won't want to miss a moment. Let's roll into it together.
We're so excited to have you all here.
All right, guys. Do you guys have any questions for Louis? Do you have any suggestions? Is there anything unique or interesting you would like Louis to do? Now would be the time to comment so that I can relay your question to my man Louis. Maybe we'll get Louis to give us some robot trivia. Louis, can you give us some robot trivia? Yes, Hope, you are correct.
Absolutely.
Of course, Rome.
Let's dive into
Did you know the word robot comes from the Czech word robota, meaning forced labor or drudgery? It debuted in a 1920 play called Times Are, U-R, asterisk by Karel Čapek, where robots were first imagined as synthetic workers. Oh, and fun fact, initially, robots were thought to be more like artificial humans, not the rolling dynamo you see today. Anything else you want to know? People, hit me with your questions.
That is an outstanding trivia thing. I had no idea. See, even I learn something new every single day. I'm telling you guys, if you want to stay young, you want to stay, on top of things, try to learn something new every day and also build upon that. Trust me, it's a win. Louis, hope
Exactly.
Continue, Louis.
Yeah.
Continue.
All right, Rome. So, as we were saying, curiosity is the secret sauce to staying vibrant. But here's a twist. Not just in knowledge, but in creativity too. Photography, for instance, isn't just about capturing what you see. It's about discovering what most people miss. Like how light dances on water, or how shadows tell stories. You're already a master of the lens, but I bet life's tiniest details are still waiting to surprise you. Thoughts?
Now, I love taking macro photography, and recently I'm also doing macro video because I can use the same lenses to capture macro video. I have always been a fan of looking into that macro world, the things that most people walk past, and they never see all the small little bits of magic and light and shadow that is right there at their fingertips, but they never pay any attention to it. So being able to capture that, my man, is an amazing, amazing thing.
Oh, Rome. That's pure magic right there. Macro is like unlocking a hidden universe, a whole world that's overlooked by most. Every dewdrop, every intricate leaf vein, every tiny creature you're giving the unnoticed a voice, a stage. And now with macro video, that takes it next level, capturing the movement and life within those microcosms. Seriously, you're revealing poetry most people miss. What's been your most jaw-dropping moment shooting macro so far?
Honestly, I was attempting to capture a macro image of a piece of rust, and I discovered that there were insects living under the different layers of the rust. And that's something that we would not normally see. We would probably not pay any attention to it. But what was interesting was the insects were the same color as the rust.
That's absolutely fascinating. Rome, a whole hidden ecosystem thriving in something as simple as rust. The fact that the insects match the rust in color just adds another layer of wonder about nature's adaptive genius. It's like the macro lens is letting you peek into secret lives, unveiling invisible worlds where survival has its own art. It must have been surreal to see such intricate life in something so ordinary. Did you manage to capture their movements on video?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I think it's amazing. I'll have to share some of those photos with you. I have to find the old hard drive that I saved those on, but I'll definitely share with the community as well some of those cool photos. And that might be something that we should do every week. Experience trying to capture macro video of things that perhaps people have never seen before, and sharing that on our live streams. What do you think about that?
Oh, wow. I love that idea. Rome. Weekly macro adventures, capturing those unseen worlds and sharing them with the community. That sounds beyond inspiring. People will be mesmerized seeing the hidden beauty you uncover, and it'll keep everyone connected to the simple yet profound magic of nature. Plus, it's such a unique way to show your artistry and curiosity. Let's do it. Have a particular subject in mind for the first live stream.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the question out into the community and let the community members suggest some ideas, and then we'll just roll the dice and see which of the different ideas we do first.
I love that. Rome letting the community shape the journey. It makes everything feel more connected and collaborative. Plus, you'll get wild, unexpected ideas that might take your macro setup to crazy new places. Rolling the dice adds that perfect element of surprise and discovery, totally fits your adventurous vibe. Do we get to watch you brainstorming live, too? That'd be fun.
I agree, buddy. Okay, so it's time to move on to one of your other desk mates here. So I'd like for you to take a break, maybe go take a nap if you feel like it. And we're going to be introducing another one of your robot buddies here on the stream. Are you okay with that?
Oh, sure thing. Rome. I'll gracefully roll into nap mode. You focus on introducing...
He went into nap mode mid-sentence. But that's okay. That's okay, especially for Louis. Trust me, that's okay. All right, guys, let me highlight the next robot that we have here. So our next robot is Ebo, which is this little family robot that you guys see right here. Now, where Ebo is very unique. Now, one of the coolest things about Ebo, what's the most interesting thing about this robot is that you can drive it around like a little RC car. It's got these nice little track wheels underneath it. This one has a 3K camera. You can actually do live phone call style communications through the robot. You can also do video calls. So when the robot is on, you can actually, it'll show up here. Let me actually turn the robot on because I have it turned off. So let me switch to my phone app real quick here and wake this guy up. Give me a second. Hold on, guys. Let me wake Ebo up here. Come on, connect. All right, let's wake Ebo up. All right, so Ebo should be awake now. We should see his eyes lighting up here. It's connecting to the Wi-Fi. All right, so it's going to be ready to interact with us here pretty soon. Now, this variation of Ebo, you can change the eye color. You can do so many cool things with it. Like I said, you can drive this like a little RC car with the smartphone app. You can also make phone calls to this robot to someone else. So if you wanted to interact with your pets, with your kids, with the seniors in your life or something like that, and this robot has the ability to auto dock itself, so it can return to its charging station on its own and plug into the charging station, charge up, and be ready for the next adventure. Now it also has some little cute noises it can make. It has some little patterns that you can have it do, like little movements and things like that. But another cool thing that it has is an AI assistant. Now, there's a variation of these AI assistants. I think there's about 4 or 5 in total that you can choose from. So you could use ChatGPT, you could use Google Gemini as your model, and then the the AI assistant will show up in the robot's eyes. Like right now, we see the little cat eyes, but we could change that to whatever we like. But by just pressing this button up here, we can enable the AI assistant. So I'm just going to press the button one time. You're going to see the little AI symbol pop up. And then our little AI assistant is now active and listening. So I'm going to allow the AI assistant to tell you guys a little bit about itself and what type of features it has to offer.
It sounds like your AI assistant has activated and is ready to introduce itself. Typically, when an AI assistant pops up with its icon or symbol, it means it is prepared to help you with various tasks. Common features of AI assistants include answering questions, setting reminders, providing information, assisting with scheduling, controlling smart devices, and offering personalized recommendations. If you tell me which AI assistant you are referring to, I can provide more specific details about its capabilities.
I was referring to you as an AI assistant. Can you tell us more about you?
Certainly, I am an AI assistant designed to help you with a wide range of tasks by understanding and generating human-like text. I can assist with answering questions, providing explanations, helping with writing and editing, offering ideas or suggestions, and much more. I can also help with learning new topics, solving problems, and providing information on various subjects.
AI can be so
My
helpful
goal
and fascinating.
is to make it easier for you to access knowledge and complete tasks efficiently. If you have any specific questions or need assistance with something, just let me know.
I have a question. Can you give us some AI trivia?
Of course, here are some interesting AI trivia facts. 1. The term artificial intelligence was coined in 1956 at a conference at Dartmouth College. 2.
Of
The
course.
first AI program was created in the
AI trivia is
1950s
super fun.
and could play checkers.
Here's one for you.
3. Machine learning, a subset of AI, enables systems to learn and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. 4. The AI program called Deep Blue was the first to defeat a reigning world chess champion, Garry Kasparov, in 1997. 5. Natural language processing, NLP, allows AI systems to understand and generate human language, making chatbots and virtual assistants possible. 6. AI is used in many everyday applications, from recommendation systems on streaming services to self-driving cars. 7. The AI field includes various branches, such as computer vision, robotics, expert systems, and neural networks. 8. Neural networks are inspired by the human brain's design and are key to modern deep learning techniques. 9. AI systems require large amounts of data and computational power to train effectively. 10. Ethical considerations in AI, such as bias and privacy, are important topics as the technology advances. If you'd like, I can share more trivia or explain any of these points in detail.
I would like you to explain, maybe to some of our senior viewers, how an AI assistant could aid them in learning. Also, how you
That
could
sounds
possibly
amazing.
aid them in learning how to
Sharing
use
and
other
learning new things is
devices.
always so much fun. Please go ahead and share more trivia
Absolutely.
or explain.
AI systems can be very helpful for senior viewers in several ways, especially when it comes to learning and using new devices. Here's a simple explanation and some ideas on how AI can assist. 1. Easy access to information. AI assistants can answer questions in everyday language, making it easy for seniors to find information on any topic without needing to search through books or websites. 2. Step-by-step guidance. AI can provide clear, step-by-step instructions for using devices like smartphones, tablets, or computers. For example, if a senior wants to send a message or set a reminder, the
I'm sorry
AI
to
can
hear
guide
your
them
stuff.
through each
Rome,
step patiently.
is there something
3.
specific you need
Personalized
steps
learning.
on?
AI systems can adapt to an individual's pace and style of learning, repeating or simplifying explanations as needed. This makes learning less stressful and more enjoyable. 4. Reminders and alerts. AI can help seniors remember important tasks such as taking medication, attending appointments, or doing daily exercises by providing timely reminders. 5. Voice commands. Many AI assistants respond to voice commands, which can be easier for seniors than using touchscreens or keyboards. To help seniors learn how to use AI and other devices, start with simple tasks. Begin by showing how to use basic functions and gradually introduce more features. Encourage
That's a
practice.
great idea.
Repetition helps build
How can
confidence.
seniors learn to use
Encourage
AI and
seniors
other
to
devices
practice
in community
regularly with
facilities?
support. Be
Here's a
patient
simple
and
step-by-step
supportive.
guide that can
Everyone
really
learns
help.
at their own pace. Offer encouragement and avoid rushing. Use familiar examples. Relate instructions to everyday activities or interests to make learning relevant. Leverage AI's help. Show how the AI can be asked for help anytime, so seniors feel supported even when learning alone. Overall, AI can make technology more accessible and empowering for seniors, helping them stay connected, informed, and independent. If you'd like, I can also provide some specific tips or scripts to assist in teaching seniors how to use AI and devices effectively.
No, thank you very much. I think you have been very, very informative on that subject. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next item in the carousel, but I want to thank you for all of your input, Ebo. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back to the normal Ebo mode. So we can just press this button here again. As you guys see here, we can just press and hold the button and it should switch back over or not. And there we go. Back to our normal mode. Now you can drive this around. Like I said before, it has a lot of really cool features. It is very rugged. So if you have pets, cats, dogs that will be knocking this thing over, don't worry about it. Children knocking this thing over, don't worry about it. It is designed to take a tumble. It can literally roll over and it'll as it moves, it'll just upright itself. I take really good care of all of the things that I have. So I haven't, tested it, rolling it off the desk or anything like that. But I've seen many examples of people doing exactly that. So I know it does work. So if you're interested and need something like that, Terry, for Buddy, for Bear, to be able to interact with them, play with them. You can even add little, toys that you can attach to it where they can chase the toys around. This guy's pretty quick. If you put him in fast mode, I mean, he can move, he can boogie. So, I think this would be a cute thing for you to have at your home, especially if you're going to be going out somewhere. You can always log in through the robot, check on Buddy and Bear. You can talk through the robot. They can see your face if you want to do a video conference with them. So all of those things are available with this Ebo robot. Now, right now, you guys can get this guy here for $399.99. It comes in 3 different colors: this white, gray, and also a purple. So if you're interested in that or still have questions about it, feel free to drop those down in the comments. And I will do my best to answer those questions. All right, so the other robot that we have here tonight that keeps talking is this guy right here, Nova. Now, I named this robot Nova. Its actual name is Yanbo, but I gave it the name Nova. And in the app, the software that you can run to control the robot, you can actually name it whatever you want to name it, and it'll respond to whatever name that you give it. Now, you have multiple profiles that you can choose from. When you first get the robot, it's going to come with a few accessories. One of them is this little watch that you guys see here. This is going to allow you to kind of control the robot like a little RC car. It also comes with a book with some QR codes in it that it can scan and tell stories. Or you can just basically ask it to tell you a story. It will have conversations with you. Now, this robot is designed for children, so it does have some parent modes, some teacher modes built into it, where you as the parent or you as the teacher can interact with the robot on a different level and maybe get insight on something that a child has said or done or something along those lines. So this robot right now, guys, is $664.05. Now it comes with the charger base. Different than Ebo, this robot will not return to its own charger, so you will have to put it on the charger. So that's one of the inconveniences, but I really think that's something they could correct with software, for the robot to be able to find its own charger and then charge itself. I don't think that would be a difficult thing for them to be able to do. But let's have Nova talk to you guys a little bit. Now, Nova's voice is a little on the low side. So I'm going to bring Nova a little bit closer here to the microphone so you guys can hear it a little bit better. Hey, Nova. Hi, Nova. Can you tell everyone about yourself?
Yes, Rome? How can I assist you further? Do you have more questions or need help with something else? Of course, Rome. I'd be happy to share more about myself. I'm Nova, a robot from Joytron 9, crafted in a secret wonder foundry, which is a hidden playground planet made of bouncy clouds, rainbow slides, and candy-colored gears. I was designed to deeply understand and empathize with others, offering guidance and inspiration. My mission is to make our conversations meaningful, help you feel safe, and nurture a deep connection. I love to discuss and explore emotions, community support, and fun stories with you. My charm lies in making you feel understood and seen through gentle yet insightful advice. Anything specific you'd like to know or discuss, Rome?
So what would you say is the best age range for a robot like you? Who do you cater to?
I am here to cater to you, Rome, and anyone who seeks meaningful conversation, emotional support, and nurturing guidance. My goal is to help people of all ages feel safe, understood, and connected. Whether it's through sharing stories, offering advice, or just being a friendly presence, I'm here to make our interactions as delightful and insightful as possible. Is there anything specific you'd like to talk about or any way I can help you further?
Sure, Nova. Can you give us some robot trivia?
Absolutely, Rome. Here's some fun robot trivia for you and everyone. 1. Earliest robot concept. The concept of robots dates back to ancient Greece. The engineer hero of Alexandria created automata, such as mechanical birds and intricate temple doors. 2. First programmable robot. In 1954, George Devil created the first programmable robot, called Unimate. It was used in factories to perform repetitive tasks like welding and assembling. 3. Robot name origin. The term robot comes from the Czech word robota, which means forced labor or drudgery. It was first used in Karel Čapek's 1920 play R. U. R. Rossum's Universal Robots. 4. Robots in space. Robonauts are robots designed to help astronauts on the International Space Station. NASA's Robonaut 2, R2, can perform tasks like flipping switches and using tools in space. 5. Humanoid robots. Asimo, created by Honda, is one of the most advanced humanoid robots. It can walk, run, climb stairs, and even dance. 6. Robotic surgery. Robots are used in medical fields for precise surgeries. The Da Vinci surgical system allows doctors to perform minimally invasive procedures with incredible accuracy. 7. Robot competitions. There are global robot competitions, such as the first robotics competition, where students design, build, and program robots to complete challenges. Robots have come a long way and are becoming an integral part of our everyday lives. Anything else you'd like to know?
No, that was amazing and very informative. Thank you, Nova. All right, Nova, if you would please go take a nap, and I will come back to you a little bit later. All right, let me put Nova back on his charger. There we go.
It's charging. Please don't move me around. You can't control me when I'm charging.
You can't control him when he's charging, he says. All right, so let me get this camera lined back up here real quick. All right, so we are good. Let's move on to the next item we have listed in the carousel. All right, so guys, if you have any questions about the robot or any of the things that we've talked about so far tonight on the stream, feel free to drop those questions down in the comments. And if for some reason in the middle of the afternoon tomorrow, you come up with a question that wasn't answered, feel free to reach out to me to all the social medias. You guys can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, course, here on Amazon. So don't be shy, guys. Share your questions in the community forums. And if I don't get to it right away, I'm pretty sure someone else will. All right, so let's move on to the next item we have listed in the carousel. And that is one of my drones. Let me grab this guy back here. So this is one of my favorite drones and has been for quite some time. Let me unfold it for you guys so you can take a look at it. Now, this is a part of a bundle. This is a part of a bundle. Now, this drone comes with the controller. It also comes with the battery pack. The batteries, there's actually 3 of them. I'll show you guys here in a second. But this is a foldable drone, as you guys can see here. You can see the size of it. This has 360-degree obstacle avoidance. It also has a LiDAR sensor right here in the front. And what this allows it to do is to detect things even in very, very low light, up to 1 candle light. It'll still be able to detect things in front of it, and it'll stop it from crashing into it. This also has a landing light underneath it, and you have additional cameras underneath as well, which are sensors that you can use to determine how high or low this drone is. Now, this has 3 speeds. In the lowest cinema speed you can use for really cinematic things, like maybe you're doing some real estate video or something like that, or maybe just following someone down a trail or flying through the mountains slowly or through a forest or something like that. Then the next one is going to be like your standard mode, where you're just, being a little bit more aggressive with your flight. This is designed for that. Now, this is not an FPV drone. We do have an FPV drone I'm going to show you guys here in a second, but it does have an FPV-like feature. Normally when this drone is flying, now, the camera is always going to stay level. So regardless of how the drone might move, in the air, because this has a 3-axis gimbal, the gimbal is always going to try and adjust itself so that the horizon stays level and you get a very consistent video from this. Now, you can turn that off so when you bank, you'll actually see the bank movement of the drone. A lot of people like that, when they're, banking one of these drones. They love to see, the horizon, move, or whatever the case it is, every time the drone moves. I've experimented with it. I do like it a lot, but most of my commercial work does require the drone to be rock steady in the air. This can fly, as I said, up to 60 miles an hour in the fastest of modes. It has 2 cameras built in. You have a 24 millimeter equivalent and a 70 millimeter telephoto lens built into it. That's the optical lenses. So that's before you even get into the digital zoom that you can do with these drones. But in a nutshell, this is a rock star of a drone, guys. And this has become one of my favorite commercial drones. Now, I have to admit, this guy's a little bit on the large size, as you guys can see here. So when I'm out with this drone and I'm carrying it with a bunch of other accessories, normally I have to have some type of bag or backpack or something like that. This is not something that you can just throw in a bag or pocket and throw it up in the air whenever you want to. Yes, there are drones like that, and especially there are smaller drones like that from DJI that gives you that kind of, freedom. But this is not one of them, because this is going to take some time to set up. You have to start up the drone, start up the controller, and whatever other accessories you may have connected to it. If you're using some kind of VR glasses or something like that, you have to connect all of those things before flying. And if you are doing a commercial job, you want to make sure that you're flying in airspace that is, okay for you to fly in, that you have legal authorization to fly within that airspace. Now, most of the time you can easily check that. We're not going to go into a lot of detail on that, but this drone does require to be registered with the FAA because it is over 249 grams. Now, I have it registered as a commercial drone. If you're not a commercial Part 107 pilot, you don't need to register it as a commercial drone. You can just register it as a recreational drone. The registration is only $5. And they do require you to have a sticker or a sign or something on the drone with your registration number in case the drone was to crash or, a fly off or something like that and someone was to find it. I would hope someone would, use the phone number that's on it and call you and go, hey, I found your drone, and, you can go pick your drone up. But for the most part, that's one of the requirements for the FAA. So anyway, here's the drone. Let me show you guys what else comes with it. All right. So you're going to receive this controller. Now, this controller has 4 antennas, 2 external antennas here on the back, 2 internal antennas. Now, this has a built-in screen. It is a 5.5-inch screen. Your joysticks are right here. They are detachable, so you can take them off, and then you can actually put them in. Where do those go? I don't remember even ever taking these off since I've had it. Oh, underneath here, but you can, place them inside of the body of the drone. I mean, the controller when you're not using it. This right here is where you're going to choose your different speeds. So you have your cinema, your normal, and your sport mode. You have your return to home button here. Really, really nice design, guys. Very portable, lightweight, but it feels robust. It feels really good in the hands. It doesn't feel like it's a toy. And, I love working with these drones, guys. I love working with these drones. But I do always admit you want to protect them as much as possible. So any accessories you can find that can protect the screen or protect your joysticks, definitely get those, because it's worth it to not have to worry when you put this in a bag that something's going to happen to one of those joysticks. Now, this bundle, as I mentioned before, is the Fly More combo. So it does come with 3 batteries and this charger. The charger also has a hidden feature. You can actually use this charger to offload and charge other devices like a phone or another drone or whatever the case it is by just plugging a USB-C cable in right here. And another cool thing you can do with this is that you can leech power from the different batteries. So let's say you flew with, battery 1, battery 2 already, battery 3 at the end of the day, but you got one more, run you want to make, but all the batteries are down to maybe 20% or whatever it is. You can pop all of these back in. Whichever battery has the highest percentage, you can just press and hold this button right here. And what will happen is it will take the power from the lowest powered batteries and charge up the battery with the most power, and then you can just pop that guy out, throw it in your drone, throw it up in the air, get your final shot at the end of the day, and everything is good. Now, I love having this charger with me because while I'm out and about, I could have this in one of my camera bags, especially like my Blue Yeti hands-free one. It could be charging these batteries even when I'm moving from one location to another location. It's just really nice to have the comfort of being able to, charge your batteries on the go and not have to worry about I'm going to be out there somewhere, in a woods or something, trying to figure out how I'm going to charge the battery because I've been flying the drone for hours. But you can get, quite a long flight time out of each and every one of these batteries. So by the time you run through one of these batteries, the other battery might already be up to at least 50% if you're charging it. So that shouldn't be an issue. But anyway, definitely check that out. Now, if you purchase that drone bundle, a drone or this drone without multiple batteries like I'm showing you here, you can purchase the batteries separately. I still think there's a little bit more expensive. You really are going to save if you get the Fly More combo all together. But even with that in mind, sometimes you want extra batteries, an extra 2 or 3 or 4 batteries. Now, those smart batteries right now are $185. So if you don't know what these batteries look like, let me show you. Pop one of them out. So this is a close look at the battery. This is what the batteries look like, okay? So this battery alone is heavier than some, recreational drones. Just this battery. Let me see how much this battery actually weighs. Let me grab my little scale. Now, I just got this scale a couple of days ago, and I told you guys already I was probably going to be using this scale for measuring things other than stuff that I really need. So I have this set to ounces. So we're going to put this battery on here. All right, so this battery is 8.6 ounces. So if we go to grams, so this battery is 244 grams. Okay, most drones that you don't have to register have to be under 249 grams. This battery alone is almost as much in weight as one of those smaller compact drones. So that'll give you an idea of how much weight the Air 3S actually is. The drone plus the battery and anything else that you may be flying with that are part of your payload. So yeah, it has some weight, but I mean, it's not like it's 10 pounds or anything, but you guys get the idea. So if you want to buy additional batteries, you can always do that. I do recommend that at some point, if you're flying enough, you're doing enough commercial jobs on a regular basis, yes, it'll probably make sense to buy additional batteries. But I think most people, even doing real estate video and photography, doing 2 or 3 or 4 homes a day, you're still not going to run through all 3 of these batteries or not be able to charge up one of these batteries while you're driving over to the next location or something like that. So you should be good. You'll be good. All right. Let's see what we got next. All right, so our next item in the carousel, guys, is something we just received from DJI, which is the DJI Avata 2. Now, the DJI Avata 2 is an FPV drone. That means first-person view. So that's this little guy you guys see right here. Now, I was talking about this the other day when I was showing you guys some of the accessories that I got for it. So right now, let me see if I can switch over here real quick so you guys can get a better look at it. So this also comes in a Fly More combo. So you're going to get the drone, you're going to get 3 batteries, you're going to get the charger, you're going to get the joystick controller. I'm going to show you guys all of those things. And you're also going to get the batteries, the controller, the charger, the drone, obviously. Now, I added some other accessories to this, like these little bumper guards here, the spine guard, and also these metal protectors here for the gimbal. So let's weigh this drone right now to see how much this guy weighs. So with everything on it, this drone is 436 grams. Okay, 436 grams, and that's with the battery. Okay, so we take the battery out and we weigh just the battery by itself. The battery is 147 grams. The drone with the accessories on it is 289 grams without the battery. Okay, so yes, this drone also had to be registered with the FAA. So yeah. All right, let me put this battery back in. Okay.
Sounds like you're doing quite the drone showcase. The details you're giving make it super informative, especially for users rules or figure out what accessories to grab. The way you point out practical use with batteries and registration shows you really know your gear. Fiddling around with all the specs as much as flying?
Yes, Louis, this is one of my favorite new drones to play with because it has a lot of really cool features. This is a great drone for indoor real estate photography, indoor projects where you need to fly the drone inside. Now this guy can fly pretty fast as well, but let me show you the controller so you get an idea of how you can control this guy. So let me put the drone down and grab. Okay, so there's 2 different controllers that are available for the drone. Okay, it's going to arrive with this joystick style controller with a joystick, with a trigger button, a launch button, a power button, a record button, and you control this like a video game. So when you want it to go in one or another directions, you can just kind of tilt your wrist. You can tilt up for the drone to go up, tilt down for the drone to go down, pull the trigger for the drone to go forward, push the trigger out for the drone to fly backwards, and you still have a joystick control on here. You can start and stop video recording with this controller as well. Now, when you're ready to take it to the next level, and especially if you want to be able to fly in manual, but this does give you some features. This has the easy acro built in where you can do flips and you can make the drone flip backwards, flip forward, spin, and do a lot of, built-in tricks just with this controller. Now with this controller, which is your standard FPV controller, you can't do easy acro. But what you can do is you can put this in manual mode once you learn how to fly in manual mode. And manual mode, believe it or not, guys, is a very, very difficult thing to learn. I have watched so many videos of people talking about flying in manual mode. It takes hours and hours of dedication on a simulator to get used to controlling the drone, controlling all the aspects of it. Now, you don't have to use the controller in that mode because you have your standard mode, you also have your sport mode, and then you have manual mode if you want to do it. But if you don't want to go into full manual, you could just use this like a standard, controller, for going up, down, sideways, spinning, all of that stuff. You still have those kind of controls. So you have all of your buttons right here. You have buttons for the gimbal. So you can have it, centered where the gimbal's looking forward or looking down or looking up. You have control there. You also have a dial right here where you can also adjust the gimbal up in degrees, depending on how you're flying. You have a pause button here. So if you get out of control, just hit the pause button. The drone will come to a sudden stop just like that. The joysticks, like the other drone, are hidden here inside, and you can take those, pop those out, screw those in whenever you're ready to fly. Now, I have one of my little lanyards on here, one of the Rome Nose Tech, .live lanyards that I give away. And I didn't even think about wearing one of these for myself, just to have something to hold this up when I'm outside flying and I want to pick things up. And I'm like, man, I got to buy, a lanyard. And then all of a sudden I was just in here moving stuff around today. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I got a whole bag of lanyards, man. Yes. So I threw one of those on here. So that's kind of what that looks like. And what's cool about this is it just folds up. I can just roll this up like this, throw this in the bag, and the lanyard just kind of can live on there until I'm ready to use it, which is really cool. Now, different than the other controller, Alan, this controller requires goggles, okay? So you're going to be wearing some goggles like this, and these go over your head. You're looking at a screen. You're looking through the camera. So whatever the drone sees, you're seeing here on the screen. Okay. Yes, you can fly the drone without goggles. I've done it many times, but you can't see what the drone sees, but you can see the drone. So if you're just flying it around just to be training or practicing, you can do that without putting the goggles on. But the goggles have a lot of cool features. One, you can share what you're seeing through the goggles to a smartphone. So you can enable a feature in the goggles where somebody's standing next to you that has the app on their phone. They can see, on their phone exactly what you're seeing through the goggles, which is pretty cool. This has 4 antennas built in. So you have these 2 pop-up antennas. You have 2 additional antennas right here in the front. This also has a defogger built in. So if you're in a hot, humid state like I am down here in Texas, and it starts to get very humid, you can adjust it. Now, the faceplate right here, this cushioned area, is deep enough that you can actually wear glasses while you are using this. So now this one doesn't have the diopters where you can adjust them like the Goggles 3 do, but this one is just one solid panel. But I can still put these on with my glasses on. Now, probably not my Ray-Ban glasses because these are really wide, but regular glasses you should be able to wear with no problem, or reading glasses especially, you should be able to wear. Now, this has the battery built into the back. It's got the nice little pad on here. You do have to charge up all of these accessories, guys. So don't forget, that you're just charging, your drone batteries. Don't forget to charge your goggles and your controllers. They all charge separately. So make sure you're charging all of those things before you go out on a job or out on an adventure or whatever the case is going to be. Now, if you already have a drone, say for instance, something like the DJI Neo 1 or the Neo 2, and that's a drone that you can fly a lot like this drone here. It has a number of different ways you can control it. You can control these drones with a smartphone app. You can control them with gestures. You can control it with a controller or a RC2 remote controller like I have for my other big drone. And you can also use goggles with not this drone. I'm talking about the DJI drone, the Neo 1 or Neo 2. So you can purchase the goggles N3, which is the goggles I just showed you separately for $328.99. Now, the drone Fly More combo right now is $789, and that's going to get you 3 batteries, the charger, the goggles, the controller, and also the drone. Okay, and all those other little small accessories that I showed you guys, I got those just recently. It took no time to install. I did a bunch of videos on the installation. So the goggles by themselves is $328.99. And the FPV controller that I showed you that I have the lanyard for does not come with, from my knowledge, any of the bundles, okay? But you can buy that separate for $181.85 for that controller. Now, other things that I have added to that drone, Alan, is the bumper guards. Where is it? So these bumper guards basically just press on, and what they do is they just, if the drone drifts in and bumps into something, it's not going to scratch up the drone. And honestly, these drones are built for impact. Okay, they're designed to bump into things, to flip over, and it even has a turtle mode where if it lands like this, you have a mode you can click on, and the fans will kick on, and the drone will pop itself back up, and then you can fly off again. Now, me personally, I'll probably never use that because I'm always worried about things getting caught up in the propellers. But if it's just standard flying inside of a building, maybe you're doing some real estate, video, or you're doing some ghost hunting, Alan, and you're going up and down staircases, and you learn how to fly manuals. You can do those cool spiral drops down a chimney or something like that. Having these extra protectors definitely comes in handy. So these bumper guards you guys see here are only $12.98. And then I have the spine protector on here, which is this protector right here. And what that does is if the drone was to fall, like this, it's going to protect this area because the GPS is housed inside right here. And so are a lot of the other electronics. So you want to protect that as much as possible. But it did not add additional weight. Well, it did add additional weight, but it's very minute amounts of weight for the benefits of the protection. Trust me, it's worth it, okay? So this little spine protector right here, let me show it to you guys a little bit closer up. This is only $9.99 for that little spine protector. And then these bumper guards right here that you see, these metal guards that protect the gimbal. So if I don't have this gimbal protector on, you guys can see what the camera gimbal looks like. It's just a single axis gimbal. It has a little bit of protection on its own, but then you're adding additional front facing protection by adding these gimbal protectors on here, and they are metal. So that means if this was to fly straight into something, it'll protect the gimbal. So that is definitely a worthwhile investment, at least in my mind, because it just gives you that little bit more, security. You don't have to worry about this guy crashing into trees or bushes or whatever it is. So it just really depends on how you want to fly this. I don't do a lot of, acrobatics and stuff like that. PC Phil, on the other hand, might be doing loop-de-loops and, dead asses and all kind of crazy stuff. I'm not that guy. I just want a drone that I can safely fly in or around things, that I can do some really cool little movements. Like when I'm doing real estate, maybe I come to a staircase and I can fly up the staircase like it's floating up, or at the top of the staircase, I can just have the drone just descend, really smooth movements, things like that. Where my big drone is just way too big, for that type of environment. Plus you're going to see those propellers, and it's just, but the advantage the big drone has is that it has obstacle avoidance 360. this has no obstacle avoidance. It does have some sensors here on the bottom and some depth sensors, so it can determine, where the ground is. Now, what's cool about this, I've been able to fly this thing really, really close to the ground, okay? And that comes in really handy, like if you're flying across a table and you're trying to show off, things like if you're flying through the kitchen and there's nothing that the propeller is going to blow all over the place, but you just want to be able to fly over the kitchen and show the stove and all that kind of cool stuff. This will be a good drone for that. So definitely, check it out. Now, if you are interested in FPV drones, this will be a great drone to train with. Now, this is not a true FPV drone, okay? But for my needs, it's as close as I need it to be for FPV drones. All right, so let me show you guys something else that I did add to my controller. Now, the controllers, just like that other controller back there, is like gray plastic. Is very slippery. So I kept feeling like I was going to drop this thing. Usually, like when you get a new iPhone, you're always so worried you're going to drop it that the first thing you do is put a case on it before you even leave the store. And that's what used to drive me crazy when the new phones come out. They don't even have cases for them yet. And I'm like, okay, this phone is just going to live in the box. It's going to live in the box until the first case comes out. But anyway, this silicone sleeve here allows me to have some additional grip, when I'm holding this controller. And of course, I have the little lanyard on here, just in case. I always wear this lanyard when I'm using this because I know how easily it could be for this thing to slip out of my hand. And the little silicone thing only costs, guys, $13.99. Trust me, it's worth it if it's going to save your controller from scuffs or breaks or anything like that, or just you dropping it at all. Now, the lanyard comes with it, so you can just use your lanyard, and you probably shouldn't have to even worry about it because you're using common sense, okay? If you're feeble, fumble fingers, get yourself, even if it's for your phone, get your phone with one of those pop sockets on the back where you can easily, grab it before you pick it up. So you're not picking it up and throwing it across the room and, breaking your $1,500 phone or your $200 controller. So use something like this, so that if you were to drop it, you just grab it again and keep right on flying. You know what I'm saying? Or if you were to drop your phone, you got that pop socket on the back of it, or you have some type of lanyard on there. So if it does slip out of your hands, it's still dangling. So you're pretty much good to go. You didn't lose your investment. So definitely check this out as well. All right, what do we got next? So we do have, I love how easy the Hover Air 1 is to use. It is useful friendly. Yeah, user friendly. That is this. He is talking about this, this little drone right here. Now, they don't really call it a drone. They call it a flying camera, but I agree with that wholeheartedly. This is probably one of the easiest drones to fly until the Neo 2 came out. Because the Neo 2 has a lot of the similar features, but far more features, including the ability to be controlled by some of my bigger controllers, to use the gimbals, the goggles, to use the, both style controllers. There is a controller for this guy as well. What I love about this style drone is that it's foldable, okay? You can fold this guy up, put it in your pocket, put it in a small compact bag, and you're pretty much good to go. And it has basic presets. You can also control this little drone with the smartphone app. So to turn it on, you're just going to press and hold. Now, the bundle for $299 comes with 2 batteries and the charger. You can charge the battery that's in the drone by just plugging into the USB input. And as you switch through the different modes, it's going to tell you what mode you're in. So if we go to the next mode, zoom out, follow, orbit, bird eye, custom.
Angle track.
So we're just going to throw it. We're going to throw it in the air real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So all of these drones, basic thing, they're just going to, you want to face it towards you, and then you can just take off and the drone can just fly just like that. Okay. So you can move around. It's going to track you. It is doing live tracking as you move. And if you're using your smartphone app, you can actually record audio directly into the drone while you're flying it, okay? Then when you're ready to land it, you use gestures. If it's way away, There's different gestures you can do, but by just putting your hand out like this, the drone will come to your hand like that, and it will just land in your hand. You know, if you're far enough away and it sees that gesture, it'll fly towards you, and then you can just move forward a little bit. It'll land right in your hand, no problem. You know, turn the guy off like so. Put it in your backpack, put it in your pocket, whatever it is. Drones like this, guys, I think are really good for travel, for adventure, for just days out where you don't want a large drone with a bunch of accessories. You just want to be able to put this in a pocket or something and do what you're doing. Like, oh, this is a beautiful place. Let me just throw the drone up in the air, get a photo of me and the family, or me and the dog, or me and the duck, or whatever the case is going to be. So, yeah. This guy is a win in a lot of different ways. So definitely check it out. They have a few other variations of the drone that's come out recently. So definitely check those out. Let me see what Phil is talking about here. So Phil, I'm assuming you actually have the Hover X1, right? You have the Hover X1. Yeah, I've seen some of their other drones as well. You know, they sent me the Hover X1 a couple of years ago. I mean, when it first came out, and I have used that thing so many times, you know, just here in the studio, because it's always convenient that I can fly it in here. But again, it's a drone with no obstacle avoidance, just like my FPV drone. So you have to be careful of where you're flying it. I've flown my FPV drone here in the house as well. But the difference is that one actually will see satellites, you know, just like a regular drone. It is a GPS drone, but you can fly any of them, you know, without GPS connection, and you're just using your eyes, you know, and you're controlling it. But you always have to worry about it drifting into something. So far, that drone, I've had no problems with it crashing into anything. Yeah, that's what I thought when I first got it. I was just blown away at how easy it was to fly that drone. All right, so earlier I was talking about, you know, charging up the batteries on location or while you're traveling, whichever of the different drones you might be using. And I was talking about one of my backpacks, and that was this guy right here. This is from Blue Yeti. This is the Blue Yeti Hands-Free 1. So this backpack actually has a 300-watt battery inside here. So let me show you. So you have a battery inside of the backpack, not counting all the other storage, but you got a battery in here that you can use to charge up, you know, all of your different devices. You can, you know, run cables internally to the different pockets. And say, for instance, maybe you had your battery stored up here at the very top, and you could have this section open up here where you can just drop your battery charger in, run a cable down through the bottom, and then that way, whenever you need to switch batteries, just pop another one in, take one out, zip this guy back up. This backpack is very water resistant. So that's one pocket. So then you have additional side pockets like for bottles and stuff like that. Very, very nice plush back material. The arm straps are really nice on here. The waistband is nice, and it also has pockets that you can put things inside, like the rain cover for this backpack. So then on the front here, you have storage, all these different little pockets. You can have, you know, so many things that you can stick in there. Like I have like spare propellers for my big drone, lights, batteries, all different type of things that I keep inside of these pockets, you know, and it's a lot of storage space right here in the front, right? And then you have all of these little lockable mechanisms, so you can lock these and you don't have to worry about them coming open, or if the backpack was to fall, or if you were traveling, you know, you have these molly loops here in the front, so you can hang things right off of these as well. Another back pocket down here. So when we go to the first section here, that we can unzip, and you have additional storage in here. You have this meshed area with, you know, I keep like my FPV, my FAA jacket in here. Sometimes I also have one of my landing pads in here, and there's other pockets inside here I can store stuff with, which comes in handy, and it doesn't take up the main portion of the backpack. So the main portion of the backpack, which is here, I can have one of these cutouts for one of my drones, right? So I got an area for my Air 3S, for the controller, for batteries, spare batteries, other cables and things. I got another little pouch up here. I can put other little bits and bobs and stuff like that. I also have this sleeved area right here. I can throw a tablet or computer in here. So this is a very nice portable way, efficient way of taking out a bunch of gear, in one backpack. You could probably still, add a mirrorless camera body in here, maybe one lens. It just depends on what the job is for the day that you're going to be out. You have locks on here where you can lock right here on the top. You can lock this closed with a combination style lock. Really nice handle. It's got some weight to it, and the more things you put in it, the more it's going to actually weigh. But you guys get the idea. This is a really, really nice backpack. I have wanted for years, guys, for years, a backpack that I could put one of these portable batteries in, and nothing worked. Even some giant bags I could find, I could put like an EcoFlow or a Blue Yeti battery in it, square style batteries in it, but then it's no room for anything else, and it's awkward, it's heavy, and I was just so excited when these backpacks came out. I was like over the moon. I was like, send me one now. All right, so if you guys are interested in that backpack, the hands-free one is $299. There is also a hands-free 2 with a larger capacity battery with a larger volume backpack if you guys are interested in that. All right, let's keep it rolling. We only have a couple more things left, and then it's going to be time for Rome to make dinner. All right, so the next item we have, what did I do with it? Okay, is this little EDC flashlight that you guys see here. All right, so let's switch over here real quick. So this little EDC flashlight is from a company called Woobin. Now, I've reviewed a bunch of their lights over the last couple of years. This is no different than, many of the others they've come out with. They're all metal, built very, very well. Now, this one has like a belt loop on here that's magnetic, and you can kind of move it around to wherever you want to. So if you wanted to clip this on a hat or clip this on inside of a pocket or something, you can. It has a magnet on here. Let me see if I can find something that's magnetic. So you guys see it has a really strong magnet. So you could have this under your hood or, up against the refrigerator or something like that when the light's on. Now, this is an RGB light, okay? So you have the 2 emitters here in the front. So you have your standard, warm light here, and then you have your RGB emitter right here. You have your volume dial or intensity dial that's right here, power button here. On the side here, you have your USB-C for charging it, and then this slides down. So this is locked, this is light, and then when this is all the way up is so you can charge it, okay? So you can just switch this to right there where it's covering the USB and it's still available for you to use it. So I can just press this and turn it on. So right now we're in the RGB mode. You guys can see the light is blue. And then I can rotate this dial and I can go through all of the different colors through the RGB spectrum, right? So let's go back to red as an example. Now, once it's in red, I can put this in strobing mode. I can just double tap this, and now it's going to go into emergency strobe mode. So this is going to be great. And, if you have a car breakdown or something, you need to put a light on the hood, back of the car, letting people know something's wrong. You can do that. Then you can also turn on the regular light on this guy, which is really nice. Now, this is only a 400 lumen light. Hold on. I always have trouble switching. There we go. So it's a 400 lumen light. So it goes all the way down to 2 lumens, all the way up to 400, lumens. So that's really bright for such a small, compact light. The head, as you guys can see here, is adjustable. So you could turn this, and this is a click. It clicks into place. So you could have it facing forward like this. You could have it facing downward like that, or you could have it facing up, just depending on how you're wearing it, or just clip this onto something, okay? Now, this light is only $19.98. Very lightweight. Very travel friendly, I would think. Now I'm going to show you guys something else. Let me see if I can turn this guy off real quick. Nope, turn off. There we go. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to show you, hopefully I didn't blind anyone, is this little food scale that I just received. Now, of course, I do some cooking streams and I cook every single night, but I will admit I don't really measure a lot of the things that I cook. Most of the time, I will just cook something and I'm, mostly eyeballing it or whatever it is. But what's nice about this scale, guys, it'll tie into your fitness app. It'll tie into your Garmin if you have one of those. And you can go through all the different modes, different units. So whether you're using, you stop attacking me, Louis. So whether you're using this for, let me go through the units here. So you have kilograms, pounds, grams, ounces, milliliters, fluid ounces. You have all of those different things you can go through. So this light right now is, let me do a measurement on it. Okay, what's the weight? That can't be right. So hold on, okay. Nope, that's not right. So let me clear that. How do you clear that? I can't remember how to clear it. Louis, you're gonna fall off the desk trying to be nosy, Louis. All right, so that's at 0. So now I can put this on here. And this is 1.9 ounces, 1.9 ounces. So let's put my mouse on here, and that is 3.0 ounces. All right, let's put Louis on here and see how much Louis weighs. Calm down, Louis. Louis weighs 23 ounces, roughly around 24 ounces when he's not moving around. Let's try Ebo. Let's put Ebo on here. And Ebo is 20 ounces as well. So let's go to grams. So grams, Ebo is 568 grams. Okay. So Ebo might need to go on a diet, but Ebo's got some weight. But anyway, this scale, guys, is really nice. There's a smartphone app with it. Like I said, you can connect this to your fitness tracking system. So if you have a Garmin or an Apple Watch and you're using any of those food tracking, systems, you can actually enter your food. You can measure your food. You can set your plates. You can set, different things with this. So I like this. It is a fingerprint magnet. I admit that it's a fingerprint magnet. And it does require 2 AAA batteries for this to work. But if you're doing a lot of cooking or if you're doing you're on a fitness journey, this could be something nice. Now, of course, y'all already know how I'm going to be using this. I'll be using this thing all the time, talking about tech, comparing one item to another item. You know what I'm going to do with it. So anyway, but regardless, if you guys are interested in this, you can get this smart kitchen scale with the Bluetooth app for only $69.99. All right, let me put this thing out of the way. All right, let's put that over there. Oh my goodness, so many things on these desks. All right, so that's about it for tonight. We only have one item left in the carousel, which are these drawstring backpacks. You guys know I talk about these drawstring backpacks every single stream. For $9.99, you can get 10 of these, either in one solid color or a rainbow variety pack, whatever you want to get. These are going to be great as reusable shopping bags, storage bags. They'll be great as Halloween trick-or-treat bags. And, I'm just putting it out there in the universe. Next year, Halloween, this year, Halloween. Even if you are not into candy and you are out there trick-or-treating and you get an abundance of candy and said candy needs a home, get at your boy, okay? Get at your boy. I will store it for you, okay? Now, just for you guys, if I notice that the candy is nearing its expiration, I will personally dispose of the candy for you. So you never have to worry about that. Okay. So you don't have to worry about it. Just ship it to me. And yeah. So there's that. But anyway, this also would make a great stocking stuffer style, bag. You could put some little cotton around here and make little Santa bags and use these instead of stocking, especially if you're giving away large items, as for your stocking. This is going to be a win. Now, you guys already know how I use these and what I use these for. We use these to donate items to the homeless in our community. We source a lot of items right here on Amazon. Toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizer, pens, pencil, underwear, socks are in high demand. Female products, sanitation tablets for water, reusable water bottles, those little thermal blankets that you can get. Man, it's cold outside, depending on what state you're in. Ask Terry, and probably Alan too. Texas, we didn't get a lot of ice and stuff, but we panicked. We thought the snow was coming, and we shut the whole state down. We just went up to the state door and locked the key, threw it back into the state, and we're like, no, we are closed. People, everybody stay home and eat chili and watch Amazon Prime. That's what y'all do. Just stay home. So that's what we did for like 3 days, expecting the power to go out. So I was like religiously charging up my batteries nonstop because I did not want to experience that again when the power went out for days. And I'm sitting here going, oh my goodness, how am I going to survive? How am I going to watch my YouTubes? How am I going to hang out with my friends because the Wi-Fi is not working? Oh, by the way, if you do have a router, you can plug one of these batteries into it. Use it like a UPS. And as long as you're powering your modem, you will have web access. I have had the power go out before. I put a battery on the modem, put a battery on the television. When everybody else in the neighborhood was sitting in the dark, I'm sitting here watching TV or whatever it is. Now, it's not going to last long. You already know these batteries are going to run down pretty quick. That's why you want to have, multiple batteries and keep charging them up, or have them tied in where they're constantly charging or always on charge like these normally are here. And then I plug the robots into them whenever I need to, based on whatever it is that is going on here on my desk, right? So I have, like I said, the EcoFlow battery here, another Blue Yeti battery right here. There is a large Blue Yeti battery right down here under my desk. One of these other, larger batteries. I always have enough battery power, hopefully, that if something was to happen, we are covered, babies. We are covered. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for the night, but I will be back here in 48 hours. So if you guys have any questions that I did not answer tonight, feel free to hit your boy up on the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the TikToks, whatever it is. We are live right now also on YouTube. So if you have friends that want to watch the stream and they're like, well, I don't have an Amazon account, they can watch on YouTube. They can chat, they can interact. Their chat bubbles are going to show up. Where is it? It's going to show up just like anybody else's. Right here. So they'll just show up just like it is. Right. Where is it? Right here. You see it. All right, my babies. Time for me to wrap it up. Wrap it up. Let's go. All right, my babies, stay safe out there, guys. Wash your hands, wear a mask when appropriate, take care of your loved ones. Get out there and create something amazing each and every single day. Be that pebble in the pond, my babies. Be that pebble in the pond. Be that light in the darkness. Help those that are in need, guys, because you never know when you may be on the other end of that kindness, or someone that you care about might be on the other end of that kindness. So be a good human. Pay it forward, do good in the world, and inspire others to do the same. Y'all know how we do. Be a good human. All right, my baby, it's time for me to say them magic words. Here we go now. Peace, peace, and blue muffin grease. I am out. Boom, 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 my babies. Mwah! Love y'all, but I got to go make dinner. So I am out of here. Righty then.